Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl are finally here, so let's get some legendaries. Hello everybody, Blaine here for Bridge4 Games. So yeah, Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl are finally here, and obviously you guys are going to be playing through the games, exploring the Sinnoh region again for yourself, but we are going to release a series here right on YouTube where we are going to cover how to get all the legendary Pokemon. Now, I know what you're thinking. You can get pretty much all the legendaries in Ramanas Park, formerly Pal Park, once you get all those slates, etc., etc. That is true. However, the Pokemon that are native to Sinnoh, those legendary Pokemon, are going to have a little bit more of a requirement to go find them, and we're going to cover all of that today for you. So, obviously, you're going to be able to get Dialga and Palkia through your normal gameplay, so we're not really going to cover those, we're going to cover all the rest of them. And today, we're going to cover all the Lake Guardians, who are Azelf, Uxie, and Mesprit. Now, all three of these Pokemon do have slightly different requirements as far as what has to go into them to actually catch them. So we're going to go into each one and lay out exactly what steps you need to take to add these Pokemon to your team. So we're going to go ahead and just dive in, but before I do that, let me take a second to ask that if you like the videos we have here on the channel, please make sure that you actually like them by hitting the thumbs up button, and of course, consider subscribing to the channel to make sure that you never miss any of the awesome videos like this one. Alright, now a couple quick things before we jump in. So obviously we are hunting legendary Pokemon here. Now, the three Lake Guardians are not shiny locked, which means you are able to shiny hunt them using the various techniques that you probably know of already. But kind of just to cover really quick what the best options are for that, soft resetting is probably going to be your best bet. So you do want to, we don't know currently what the soft resetting options are, but you are able to potentially close the game out, go back in, and then that's how you would reset the game, much like in Sword and Shield. Now again, we are hunting static Pokemon, so some things to keep in mind are that you're probably going to want a status mon. So something where you can do sleep, paralysis, etc., things like that. Those are going to be really good options for being able to make these Pokemon have a status condition, which makes them easier to catch. Now, a lot of people prefer sleep. I typically prefer paralysis because, even though they do burn their PP more quickly, it does let you just basically take turns and just throw Pokeballs without having to worry about them waking up and all that. So that's how I do it. But, obviously, if you do want to put them to sleep, that is a perfectly valid plan as well. On top of that, you also want to have a Pokemon that most likely knows False Swipe. So the reason you want this is so you can knock them down to 1 HP without killing them. So, there's a lot of Pokemon that know it. Off the top of my head, I do have a little bit of a list here put together. Some of the best Pokemon that you can use are going to be Garchomp, Absol, Mew, Weavile, and Scissor. So, all these Pokemon are very good in and of their own right, and they all know False Swipe. I did particularly like the Dark Pokemon, so Weavile and Absol, mainly because they're kind of easy to get. They are in some of the, hideaways underground, but they are also Dark type. So, all three of the Lake Guardians are going to be Psychic type, meaning that their most powerful stab moves are not going to be able to actually affect those two Pokemon. So, obviously something to keep in mind, but you can use any of the Pokemon, they all work. So we're going to go ahead and talk about Azelf first. So, this blue Lake Guardian here. So, he is found in Lake Valor. So what you need to do, once you defeat Team Galactic and you beat the Dialga Palkia storyline, you get all that taken care of, the 3 Lake Guardians are going to be available in the game for you. So, Azelf is the first one here. Now, Azelf is really straightforward. You just have to go to Lake Valor, as you can see in our little video here. Go into the temple that's in the middle of the lake. You are going to need access to Surf, but once you go in there, you can encounter Azelf, and again, you can soft reset to try and get shinies for it. So, honestly, this is pretty straightforward. I mean, there's not a whole lot to think of here, but you do want to, keep in mind it is a tough Pokemon. It is level 50, so you definitely want to bring enough Pokemon to handle it. But other than that, it's a static encounter, so things like, again, putting it to sleep, paralyzing it, false swiping it, and using things like Quick Balls are going to be really, really helpful as far as getting these Pokemon. And of course, another option for Azelf there is going to be a Timer Ball, particularly if the match goes long. Timer Balls do get that bonus the longer a match goes, so that's something to keep in mind. That could be basically a pretty easy catch if you are able to drag the game out long enough. Personally, for me, I like actually matching my Pokeballs up with the Pokemon, so for me, I would probably try and catch this guy on like a Quick Ball. I think that, aesthetically goes well, but that's just me. Now, let's talk about the next legendary Lake Guardian here, and that's going to be Uxie. Now, Uxie, I don't know the proper way to say it, U-X-I-E, this guy. So what you need to do is go to Lake Acuity as opposed to the previous lake, and like Azelf, it's also going to be a static encounter. You are able to soft reset for a shiny version of it, and you are able to get it only after you've done the Dialga Palkia stuff and defeated Team Galactic. Now, again, it's going to be chilling in there. It is a pretty defensive, psychic types. Do keep in mind, you need those same kind of attacks, but again, having a Darkmon that potentially has False Swipe and being able to status this thing as well is going to really make it a lot easier on you as far as being able to catch these things. Now again, same deal here, Quick Balls work, Timer Balls work, any balls really work once you have that thing weakened enough or, you get lucky in your first throw. So again, these two, Azelf and Uxie, are going to be pretty straightforward. They're the easy ones to catch. And now that we've covered both Azelf and Uxie, we are going to talk about the third legendary, who is going to be the tricky one here, and that is Mesprit. So, talking about our pink Lake Guardian here, Mesprit is going to be one of the tricky ones to find. So like the other ones, you do have to beat, Team Galactic, finish the Dialga Palkia story. But it is a roaming legendary, which is where this is going to get a whole lot more tricky. So first up, you do need to go to Lake Verity. That is right where you get your starter Pokemon in the very beginning of the game. Go to the shrine in the middle and then go into it. You're going to encounter it because it's going to be there, but hold your horses. Don't get too excited because it is going to run off. And then Professor Rowan's going to come in and talk to you a little bit and explain to you, that you're going to have to go find this sucker. So you are going to have to do that using your marking map that you're going to get as an app in your Poketch. After I believe you get your third badge, you can talk to the president of the Poketch company and he will give you this app for free. It's able to track all kinds of different Pokemon, but most specifically, it's able to track Mesprit here. So what we do need to do is pull up Mesprit on the app. And as we can see here, it will show you where on the map it is. You're obviously going to have to pursue it and then eventually, track it down and catch it. So one of the best ways to actually get this, guys, if you go to the lower left-hand corner of the map, there's like 3 or 4 areas that are all walkable within like distance of one another. It tends to hang out around there sometimes. So if you can get it kind of cornered, you'll be in pretty good shape. Now, keep in mind, every time you fly, or if you try to change areas, like you walk into a new part of the map, it's going to change locations. So you do need to kind of predict where it's going to go and end up there at the same time. Now, once you actually end up in the same spot, use one of your higher level Pokemon, not higher than level 50, but maybe like a 45, 46, and use those max repels to actually get them to show up. So what you want to do is use your repels to make sure that everything lower than the Pokemon you have in the front of your party is not going to be showing up. Basically, it's going to force the game to have only the legendary Lake Guardian show up because all the other Pokemon are going to be below that level. So when it does show up, there is a very good chance it's going to flee. Now, if you don't want to use a Master Ball in this thing, you're going to need to either put it to sleep or hit it with like a mean look right away. Now, as far as that, we've talked about sleep strategies. Some of the good options in this game are like Breloom. It's kind of fast and it has access to Spore. You have a few other options as well, but you do really need a fast Pokemon that can potentially put this thing to sleep. The other option that I had listed here was Absol. Absol can be bred to have access to Mean Look. And since we're potentially using Absol already to hunt the other 2 legendaries, it's not that, crazy to think that you could use it to also get Mean Look and, hopefully, keep Mesprit in place. Now, you can also use a Quick Ball, or like I said, you can use a Master Ball. Now, obviously, that's pretty straightforward how you're going to catch this, stuff like that. If you want to shiny hunt this thing, you're going to be in for a little bit of legwork, and here's why. It is not shiny locked. However, in order to shiny hunt it, you need to save before you interact with it at the Lake Verity Shrine there. The reason why, effectively, whether or not it's coded to be shiny is going to happen as soon as you interact with it. So what you need to do is save there, interact with it, do the Rowan cutscene, and then go, hunt it down somewhere. Then you'll see if it's shiny or not. And then if it's not shiny, reset and do it all over again. Unfortunately, that's really the only way to do it because of the way the game codes the shiny. So if you do want to hunt it, you're able to, but you do need to keep in mind that you do need to encounter it first, which can take a little bit of time. But that being said, the other 2 are relatively straightforward to shiny hunts, so it shouldn't be too difficult. So obviously, this one being a little more challenging isn't the end of the world, but do keep in mind it can be a little bit more time, and just take a little bit more commitment to actually get it. But once you do get it, it is a very cool Lake Guardian Pokemon. I personally always liked Azelf more. Every time I look at this thing, I imagine it's wearing one of those like skiing like jester hats. I don't know if you guys don't live in an area where it snows, you have no idea what I'm talking about, but I'm going to put a picture of it on screen right now. Yeah, this thing, I used to see this on the school bus growing up all the time, and I cannot look at this thing without seeing it, so that's why I'm probably not going to be shiny hunting this guy, but I will get it for the decks because that's what I do. But there you have it. That is how you can add Mesprit to your decks along with Uxie and Azelf. And, more or less, it is a fairly painless process, but they are Pokemon that are really, really cool and can be a little bit tricky to get, so do keep in mind they do take a little bit of work, so definitely put in the time and you will get some pretty awesome Pokemon for your efforts. So there you have it, everybody. That is how you can add Azelf, Uxie, and Mesprit to your Pokedex once you get Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Now, a couple things just to recap. You're going to want a mon that can do status, ideally one that is pretty fast to do either paralysis or sleep. You're going to want a Pokemon that has access to False Swipe and potentially Mean Look. And of course, you're going to want to stock up on a lot of Quick Balls, Timer Balls, and have a Master Ball just in case everything goes sideways. or if you encounter that shiny Mesprit and you really want to get it. So that being said, everybody, that is everything you need to know in order to catch these Lake Guardians. I really hope this video was helpful to you, and I hope you are enjoying your Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl playthroughs. I know a lot of you guys have been waiting for these games for a very long time, and for some of you, it may be your first trip to the Sinnoh region altogether, so get the games, have a good time, and let me know down in the comments how much fun you guys are having with these brand new games. So that being said, everybody, I hope you found this video helpful, and I hope you found it entertaining, and if you did, remember to absolutely impact that like button in the face, and of course, consider subscribing to the channel to become part of our amazing Pokemon community to ensure that you never miss any of the awesome videos like this one. So that being said, everybody, I've been Blaine for Bridge 4 Games. Thank you all so much for stopping by and hanging out with me as we talk about some legendaries this morning. I hope each and every one of you have an epic, awesome, and amazing day, and I will see you in the next video. See you around. Bye-bye.